The cropping season, for all intents and purposes, about finished in Wisconsin. We're going to talk about that today on our Allied Cooperative Program with Tom Hoffman, agronomy sales lead with Allied, headquartered in the Marshfield location. And Tom, take us through being an agronomist. You were in the field, you talked to your agronomy team. Cropping year 2024, in spite of some, well, questionable weather to say the least, wasn't all that bad, was it?
No, Bob, I think you're correct. In fact, the season was really a pleasant surprise. I think yields overall have been higher than expectation. We had some dry weather, and people were quite pessimistic at times, but I think things turned out quite good, especially on some ground that held moisture well. Yeah, there were some shallow spots and some ground that's a little lighter that wasn't great, but I think even in some of those situations, people were happier than anticipated. But overall, I think it was a quite good production year considering everything.
And when you take a look at the challenges we had out there, what did you hear from your farmers and the folks in your agronomy department as far as weed challenges, disease, insects, things like that? What did you hear?
I think white mold is a constant issue. I don't think it was as bad, but it seems like white mold is a constant issue in soybeans, and we have to keep addressing that and do cultural practices, treatments, and to try to deal with it. We have an environment that's an issue almost every year. Some years a little worse than others, but it's a constant issue. I don't think the disease pressure was as bad on the corn, where we had some drier weather, which I think also helped some of our corn yields significantly. Water hemp, weed control, water hemp, Roundup resistant water hemp, just constant battle. And we'll have to keep addressing that. We just can't ignore that. Ignoring it does not solve the problem. So we have to keep using the tools in the toolbox to do our best to keep that under control and to keep fighting that.
And it's time now that we're getting into December for all intents and purposes. Cropping plans for 2024, Tom. First of all, take a look at that fertilizer issue, because it's really been a factor on the expense side of the legislature. Where is it at as you see it right now for 2024?
Right now I would say, as we head into 2024, the fall here has been, I think, very acceptable, and is right now it looks like it should be very acceptable heading into the 2024 cropping year. It is significantly lower than what it's been the previous couple of years. 2 years ago here, it was quite high priced. But I think it's at a very manageable level here right now, and if commodity prices can hold their own, I think it's really a very, very good value. And I would just reiterate the point, those people that do fertilize well, obviously part of the reason we see some very good yields. So to think that we'll skimp or not treat the crop for maximum production really doesn't help yourself at all. But it's at a very manageable level. I don't think everybody should be as scared of it, but put on what needs to be put on.
And seed selection, so very important. We talk about challenging year weather-wise, but boy, we had good yields. What about seed selection for 2024? Seed availability, the help your agronomy staff can give farmers for the challenges they had this year, their soil types, fertilization practices. What's ahead? What's your recommendation for 2024?
Well, please visit with some of our agronomy advisors. Obviously we have a very good assortment of seeds. Obviously to be positioned correctly gets to be an important issue. There's just an awful lot of very good varieties, but I think they can help position for maximum return. And there's just a diversity in where things are used, not only silage specific, grain scenarios, disease presence, management styles. There's a lot of good opportunities. Now with that being said, there's good seed supplies right now, but with that being said, the seed companies expect to they don't expect to have endless amounts. They'll have some, but good varieties will run short. So to talk with your agronomy advisor and select what you'd like and to get it reserved and maximize some discounts gets to be a big issue. That's not something a person really wants to wait on if you know specifically what you'd like to position.
That is for sure. And your agronomist staff are available to help interpret that, hopefully, fall soil sampling, that fall soil test for best selection of varieties as well.
Yeah, to look at your soil test result, your end use, your objective, what you'd like to do, how your management style, all those play into it. But certainly there's a lot of good, and genetic improvement is just quite significant. Varieties are changing quickly because of genetic improvement and genetic advancement. So to communicate on what is new, what is improved, really it's a quicker process. You don't have 10-year-old varieties anymore. things are happening quite quickly. So to converse and position accordingly gets to be a bigger and bigger deal than it used to be.
So get it done. It's time to start looking at the 2024 cropping season, and the agronomy staff at Allied Cooperative can help you. They all work with Tom Hoffman, who's the agronomy sales lead with Allied Cooperative. Tom's in the Marshfield office. Tom, thanks for the update this morning.
Hey, thank you, Bob. I appreciate it, and look forward to a productive 2024.
You bet we do. Tom Hoffman with Allied Cooperative.